top of him, kept the fight, kept the action in and kept pressing him back.
Come on, let's swing it. As soon as he was through the target, don't you think he's got go?
Come on.
Oh, a good close-up example of a cornerman at work during the 1-minute break. All running repairs with the Vaseline and the advice. Smooth running corner can be such an advantage to any fighter.
It's true, there's no panic in the corner, nice and cool. Just give him a few simple pieces of information, put the Vaseline on his eyes and give him a good rinse and a wash up.
The reason I mention that is when we were in Rome on Saturday night, some of the fights that were on air, domestic affairs before we showed you the Nigel Benn title fight, the idea of some Italian corner work was simply to ignore the fighter and to shout at each other.
Yes, that can sometimes happen. The fighter needs a cool and controlled corner. Delaney, again, you know, I have to say this because he's not able to step his pace up. You know, he could take over here completely if he was able to step the pace up and just be a bit sharper. Got to work on that now as he goes back to the Jemmies. He's getting to the stage in his career where he's stepping up opponents and he's going to be fighting for titles in the next year or so. So he's
You can almost draw parallels between this fight and the last fight that Herbie Hyde had against Jean Channet. Delaney has been rumbling through the lower reaches of the light heavyweight division, and suddenly he's come up an opponent who makes him think, who doesn't succumb to the big shots as Herbie found against Jean Channet. And it's a learning process. The important thing is to absorb the lessons from this fight and then bring them into your next fight.
Yeah, you've got to be patient. I keep saying that. That's very important when you've got a tough opponent in front of you. But this is better now. This is what he's got to do. He's got to be able to hurt the guy, step the pace up, and then just take over. But he hasn't been doing that, and he's still predicting his attacks. And he's also caught a couple of right hands. Nothing too special, but he's caught a few punches. That left hand's a wee bit low, and being a tall opponent, you know, he will take right hands over the top from.
Yes, and be in no doubt that he has caught Mcdougal with more than one good, solid shots. Shots that in previous fights have accounted for opponents.